Lads. Hello and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. My name is Nick, or for the OGs, in good Nick. And in this video, it's going to be a quick roundup of kind of all the business, what's happening at Sheffield United, Bramall Lane, Shirecliffe, and even Spain. So yeah, obviously the big kickoff is next month. In this video, specifically, we're going to be talking about transfers, injuries, current players, managerial additions, friendlies, and much more. So before we crack on, please make sure you like the video stream right now, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it a bit later on. So I'm going to bring in Hal to, shall I? Yeah, go on then. How you doing, mate? Good to see you.
Wow, still euphoric after the night before. I've got my Kyle Walker shirt up. I wore it yesterday. It stinks because I sweated all the way through that 120 minutes.
Ugh. To be honest, it was horrible, wasn't it? It was horrible to watch.
I hate football.
Yeah, me too. Do you know that Kyle Walker shirt, though? That is the embarrassing Iceland shirt, though, isn't it?
All right. I didn't know that when I bought it. I got it pre-tournament. Since then, I've never bought a shirt pre-tournament. It's the last one I've got, and I'll never buy another one.
Well, I've got two this time, so I thought I'd get in there before we won the Euros, because they'll be like rocking horse poop after this tournament, I'm sure, because guess what, Hal? Did it already? Did it? You couldn't stop me.
True.
Anyway, shall we crack on into this video?
Yes.
Stop messing about and talking about things coming home.
Stop it.
So, as you'll know at the moment, lots and lots of stuff's been put in on social media from the Sheffield United social media team. The
Honestly,
Blades are...
It's like they've got an intern with a camera, and they've said to him, just take a few pictures, and they've just literally uploaded everything on the photo roll. We get it. They're in Spain with short sleeves. We get it.
They're definitely in Spain. I've seen some nice videos of Jebo finding the bottom corner. That was a personal highlight for me. But yeah, they are in Spain for pre-season training. They left on Tuesday. They are in Malaga, which, as Hal told me before the stream, is South Spain. 27 degrees. Whew. It feels like 27 degrees in this box room that I've got right now, to be honest. You could probably see the glare off my forehead. Whew. So, Hal, Spain.
I'll tell you what, it's perfect. 27 degrees is exactly what you want. It's not too hot. Little breeze, perfect for playing football. I'm told Spain is Slavisa Janovic's preferred pre-season destination every year. So hopefully, us fans will get the chance to go there in the next couple of seasons. Sanderberg is recovering from injury. He's not part of the group. More on him later. Got a lot to talk about with him. There is a few youngsters in there. Kyron Gordon, Daniel Jebison, who Nick, you just mentioned. Zach Brunt, our sweet prince, because he follows us on all our social medias. Femi Sariki, Polish defender, Kasper Lopata, definitely how you say it. And George Broadbent, who you might remember spent part of last season on loan at United World's Belgian club, Beerschot. So they've all made the trip. The squad in Spain, in total, I'll try and do this in alphabetical order, as we call it, alphabetical order.
No, we don't.
As I call it. Baldock, Basham, Bogle, Brewster, Broadbent, Brunt, Burke, Eastwood, Egan.
Have we got enough bees in there, Hal?
I know, loads in there.
Bloody bees.
League One Wes, Freeman, Gordon, Jebison, Lopata, Max Lowe, Ollie McBurney-Powell. There's Didsey, Moose, Ndiaye, Norrington Davis, Norwood, Osborne. There's Jackie Longthrow, Sariki, Billy Sharp, Slater, Tyler Smith, Stevens, Verrips, no Fleck. Now, he was given an extended time off because he was part of the Euros. He's on holiday. Some say Ibiza. I'm told I shouldn't give his destination away. Some say Ibiza. Norrington Davis made the choice to abandon his holiday to try and force his way into the side. You've got to respect that. I like this kid more and more. So all of those that were involved in the Euros were given the chance to have an extended break. Fleck took it. Our squad is bloated once again, Nick. I've counted, not in that group, but in total, if everyone was fit, 33 players. Enormous. And you mentioned friendlies in your intro. Europa Point, a Gibraltarian team, play the Blades. We believe in Spain. We have a watch-along Saturday, 10th of July, 5:30 p.m. UK time. Kickoff at 6.
I just want to talk about Fleck and Norrington Davis for a second. Does that speak volumes about where Fleck's head's at the moment? Because really, Fleck didn't play at all. Norrington Davis didn't play at all. One came back, one didn't.
I know. I get it. I think that it's more than likely that Fleck and his family had holiday plans made, already booked, and he just decided to go away with the family. Norrington Davis probably doesn't have a young family, and decides it's more important to push on in his career.
Yeah. Fleck, disgusting. Get rid of him. Don't want him anymore. Choosing his family over Sheffield United. Get rid.
I would never do that. So pre-season friendlies, we mentioned Saturday, there's Europa Point. I know quite a bit about them, but I'll share all of that on the watch along. These ones, the big three are streamed via the Sheffield United channel, the official channel. You can pay £5 for that and then join us for the watch along. There's a Handsworth FC versus Sheffield United 11 game on the 17th of July at 3 o'clock. On the 20th of July, 7:30, Hallam FC against the Sheffield United 11. I always thought Hallam FM should have offered me a job. I think the marketing writes itself.
Oh, yes.
I know, right? And then 28th of July at 7, Doncaster Rovers versus Den Blades. That one again streamed. And 31st of July, it's Sheffield United against Norwich City at 3 p.m. also streamed.
I did read that Slav really, really wanted the Norwich game at Bramall Lane so we could get used to surroundings, and it's just going to be nice to just welcome him to Bramall Lane because I think that's the first and only one in pre-season that's going to be at Bramall Lane, isn't it? Because the other Handsworth and Hallam FM. Look what you've done to me. Look what you've done to me. Hallam FC. They're both going to be away, we believe, and Donny obviously at the Keep Moat. So exciting, really exciting. I'm probably going to try and go to quite a few of those. Maybe not the Europa Point one, but maybe the rest of them.
Right. Because that's largely behind closed doors. Otherwise, I know you'd be there.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Rather annoyingly, I will actually be in Gibraltar days after it, but it's probably going to be in Spain anyway. If you've got any questions for us that we won't know the answers to, but we could quickly Google, do type them in. And we've got Bobby in the background with us again, who revealed his face at the end of last season. He is ace. Now, Slavisa Jukanovic's backroom staff was announced. Marco Cesarini, 43, head of first team medical services, an Italian. He was previously AC Milan and head of medical at Fulham, Watford, and at West Ham. He wasn't head of medical there. He was employed as an osteopath. Do you know what they do?
No.
I think it's massage. I was hoping you'd know, but he was.
You can't throw me under the bus like that.
I wasn't throwing you. I was just thinking, do you know? I don't really know about stuff like that.
No, you weren't throwing me. You were kicking me under that bus.
I was gently pushing you towards a bus that wasn't driving at a welterweight speed. The handbrake had been let off, and it was maybe at the top of a hill. Now, he was most recently in China at Henan Jinyen FC with Jukanovic's former right-hand man, Javier Pereira, who we did speculate on this channel would be part of our backroom staff, but he's not going to be. So we spent 9 months in China, Marco. I'm just going to call him that now. And he's now with United. Also, go on.
I was going to say, thank you, Steve York, for that. Osteopaths crack bones.
So it is massage, basically. I was right, but tough massage.
I'm not sure about that, mate. I'm not sure about that.
My wife is a sports masseuse, and if you ever had a sports massage,
yeah, I did it. I did it at college. It's and I had I was massaging one of my mates, and he said to me, "My left knee is where I've got problems," and I thought he said right knee, so I went ham on that left knee. Yeah. He wasn't happy about that.
Great, one for the Kanye West fans. Chima Sanz, whose real name is Jose Maria Sanz, is our first team coach. He's Spanish, 51, previously worked at Valencia He's basically, the role could become assistant manager. I don't know if it will. He was at Valencia Bees as the manager of the B team, and he was assistant manager at Valencia. He also held assistant manager positions at Real Mallorca and Deportivo La Coruña. He hasn't worked with Jokanovic before, but he also did coach Jokanovic. So he hasn't worked with him as in with Slav being the boss. He's worked with him being the boss. And that was when Slav was a player at Tenerife between 1995 to 1998.
That sounds a bit weird. It's like when Chris Wilder was Alan Nill's number 2. Not exactly like that, but it's weird how you go from being kind of the boss to being like your old. Well, you know what I mean. You get that. You get that.
From being the boss to not being
the boss. Yeah,
absolutely. Rafa Cristobal, first team head of performance. I mean, they used to just be a couple of coaches, didn't they? But he's a 48, Spanish. Previously worked at Fulham as the fitness coach. He replaces Matt Prestridge. His previous clubs include Las Palmas, Real Valladolid, there we go, Levante, and Alaves. Oh, I'm done.
There you go. And finally, Alan Nill.
We don't know.
We just don't know.
We just
don't know.
Do you think he's still being paid?
I'm sure he's still being paid. I'm sure he's still there. But what is he doing? He doing? Getting paid an absolute wedge for doing not a lot.
It's good money if you can get it, and hasn't nearly deserved it. He hasn't done anything wrong. So no. I like him.
Or he has deserved it to get paid a lot of money for doing naff all.
That's what you're saying.
He's done brilliantly for the boys over the years. And if we'd have kind of used him more, we may have ended up with more points at the end of the season. But who cares? Season's over. We'd have gone down anyway. The
Slavolution will be televised. First 3 championship matches are 8 p.m. kickoffs on Sky at 8 p.m. The date and kickoff times of the Blades.
Where did that Manc accent come from? Sky!
It just felt right. But the League Cup game, the first round tie against Carlisle United, we now know it's going to be played at Bramall Lane on Tuesday, the 10th of August, a 7:45 kickoff. So, Nick, that's now 4 games in 11 days.
Mental, isn't it? Absolutely mental. But at least it's right at the start of the season rather than halfway through or towards the end, because surely they'll all be fighting fit. We no longer have any 38-year-olds playing for us as well. I think we'll probably come on to that in a bit. But hopefully we've got a lot of fit guys that are going to be able to play lots of games in a short space of time.
Sheffield United versus Bristol City will now be played on Sunday, the 28th of November. It was previously on my wife's birthday, the previous day, at 12:30 p.m. kick-off. The match was scheduled that previous day, but Sheffield Wednesday, if they're still solvent, are going to be playing that day. So it has been pushed back a day at the request of the police. And if you follow at Sheffield United Way on social media, no other social media account, had that news before us. Just saying.
Exactly. It's quite cute that the police think that Sheffield Wednesday are going to have fans as well next season.
They will. You not heard how many Wednesday have told them are going to that game? At least 100,000.
So I'm not going to mention any names or when I last spoke to him, but one of my mates, who is in fact the wrong side of the city fan, said that he's not going to any more Wednesday games until they get it sorted. They get the club in order. So
he's not going to any more games then.
If there's exactly. If there's a few more fans like that, they could really struggle anyway. We're not talking about Sheffield Wednesday. We're talking about Sheffield United. And the only way is up for the Blades right now, in my opinion. And the only way is up for Mr. Nick Montgomery, friend of the channel. He's now the new head coach of the A-League side, Central Coast Mariners, who used to be affiliated with Sheffield United. I don't think they are anymore, Hal. Do you
Correct.
know?
It was only during the Kevin McCabe time just before he left as well. They should really be called the Central Coast Mariners. But, you said the only way is up. They're technically down under. But well done to Monty. I do see him as a future Blades manager. I'm going to make a bold prediction on this channel. 5 years' time, Monty is involved in some capacity at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane.
Yeah, and he put it on his LinkedIn as well, and I commented on it, and that's exactly what I said to him. I said, see you in a few years' time as at the helm of Sheffield United. So hopefully that does happen.
Said it to us, didn't he, on the podcast? If you haven't checked it out yet, do save it so you watch later. It's available on this channel. Ismaila Koulibaly, our 20-year-old midfielder, scored the second in a club friendly for his lone side Beerschot against Beveren, another Belgian team. It was a 2-0 win for Beerschot. A nice finish. He chipped it over the keeper. We have a video on him on this channel. Again, save it to you watch later. It's everything you need to know about a future Blades star.
Yeah, what a finish that was as well. Absolute gorgeous. We want to see him. We want to see him in a Sheffield United shirt. Is that possible? Well, you're going to have to check out that video that Mr. Hal Stewart did not too long ago. Before we had our little break. It's definitely not too long. No, you don't like long videos, do you, Hal?
No, look at this. We're already pushing 15.
I know. Okay, let's crack on. John Lundstrom. John Lundstrom's gone to Rangers on a free transfer. The video, we did it the other day. We did a stream. It was a bit of a long video. It was 45 minutes, but it's absolute gold. So go and check it out, guys. John Lundstrom, gone to Rangers. We literally covered everything.
More
everything about it.
Yeah. every blade of grass. Simon Moore has joined Coventry City on a free transfer. The 31-year-old has signed a 3-year contract with the club until June 2024. Of course, More. Part of the 100 club. Very popular keeper, Simon Moore, leaving after 5 years. He said, I'm delighted to get...
Can we just...
Yeah.
Simon Moore.
Yeah.
All right, okay, never mind. Thanks, Bobby.
Once I heard Coventry were interested, it was the only place I wanted to come. I am really hungry to get going again, and I feel great right now and really excited to get started.
I love when they say that, because if anyone else in the Championship would have come in for him, it'd have said exactly the same thing.
Probably.
Yeah. Next up, Phil Jagielka, Mr. 38-year-old man that we were just talking about a second ago, is training with, obviously, you've got to say it this way, Wayne Rooney's Derby County, because it was Frank Lampard's Derby County before. Got to say Wayne Rooney's Derby County. And he could be in line for a contract at Pride Park to extend his playing career, which I thought, after the season had ended, I thought that was it. He'd want to finish on playing for Sheffield United. But he obviously feels like he can carry on. And you know what? I think that he could probably still do it in the Championship. I wouldn't have been too disheartened if we'd have kept him. And I do think that he would have dropped his wages for us. And I'm sure he's dropping his wages for Derby County anyway. Also, Derby County, Richard Stearman is also training with him, which is nice. But that's two aging centre-backs. We all know that Richard Stearman is a bit slower than he used to be. But he definitely put in some stellar shifts in for us. And Stella. Stella. Like it. And I'm looking forward to seeing both of them at Bramall Lane next season to give them a little bit of a cheer.
Former Sheffield United fullback Mark Beard is the new assistant manager to Simon Rusk, former Boston player, at Vanarama National League side Stockport County. I remember when Stockport were in the same division as us. I mean, wow, how the mighty have fallen. I just want to take a quick moment to say that this video is brought to you by our sponsors, Manscaped. Manscaped is changing the way men approach grooming with their Performance Package 3.0. This men's bundle includes the Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, Performance Boxer Briefs. Nick, you are wearing those as we speak.
Always. Never take them off. They stink.
A travel kit and formulations to help you upgrade your grooming game, such as deodorants, which Nick uses because he's always wearing those boxers. Nick, tell us how we can get a great deal.
All you need to go to is manscaped.com. It'll take you through to their UK site. Buy whatever you want. Buy everything if you like. I can either buy one thing or everything, nothing in between. So use the code TSUW, which is obviously the Chef United way, which that's what you can get 20% off for. So go and use it, guys, right now, as you can see across the bottom as well. Free shipping, 20% off. There we go. All done.
Transfers. Arsenal player Sidey, I'm going to go with Sidey. I've only seen it written down. Sidey Peck, 16-year-old midfielder, has now confirmed that he's signed for United. The midfielder spent time on trial with Brighton, scoring for their under-18s in April. Last year, he also played for Cambridge United's under-16s on trial. And Peck is really highly rated in his age group as a youngster. Last season was a bit injury-plagued. He joins another former gunner in Will Lancashire. We spoke about him on our academy video on this channel with Jason the Knowledge. And a compensation fee for Peck to Arsenal is believed to be £150,000. Peck has also represented Wales at under-18 level, so one for the future, as is Welsh midfielder Owen Hampson, also 16. He made his first appearance for Sheffield United under-18 side on the 27th of February this year, has now officially joined the Blades after leaving Manchester United. You've heard of them. Hampson is a Wales youth international and features in their under-17 sides. He's also, just as I say, 16. The teenager has been on trial at Sheffield United since February and has featured in a number of games for the academy. So we wish him well. And I'll just start us on rumours, Nick. I'm sure a lot of people have read about Dion Sanderson, the Wolves player, 21 years old, a defender, spent last season on loan at Sunderland, playing 26 times and scoring once against Rochdale. Sanderson was voted as Sunderland's Supporters Young Player of the Year. Wolves have set an asking price of £2 million. He's a centre-back. Sunderland have already offered £1 million. It was rejected this summer and they appear to be out of the race. Last season was the Black Cats there. He was just amazing. He helped his team keep 8 clean sheets, as well as making an average of 0.9 interceptions, 1 tackle, 2.7 clearances, and winning an impressive 4.3 duels per game. So, you know, those if you're into your analytics. Birmingham City boss Lee Bowyer is a big admirer, and they are desperate to land Dion.
That's crazy, that. He's got the same kind of ratio of defending as our players from last season. He's made 1 tackle all season. That's good, isn't it?
He's
what else?
do.
Yeah, he has. What else made me laugh when you were talking about Sidey Peck is that we are like kind of interested in paying 150 grand compensation for a young player, whereas a few years back, that's what we were paying for transfer fees for experienced players. So it's great. It's great to see. It is great to see
it.
You do. And what else you love to see is the fact that we are looking to bolster our team, obviously our squad, by looking at Brighton centre-back Matt Clark. He's left-footed centre-back, joined Brighton in 2019 from Portsmouth. He's been on loan at Derby for the past 2 seasons. He was Portsmouth Player of the Year twice and Derby's Player of the Year once. And obviously, he avoided relegation with a depleted Derby County last season, sending those piggies down to League One. What do you make of him, Hal? What have you seen of him?
I've seen a lot of him, actually, and he is class. He could be a Jack O'Connell replacement if Jack O'Connell is going to be injured for a great deal longer or worse. So I think he'd be a must sign. He's the only player we've been linked with that I actually really want.
Somebody at work the other day, I've not seen this at all, but we're mentioning Ben Davies again, obviously from Liverpool this time, not from Preston. So I wonder whether that could be a loan deal or whether that could be something more permanent if they're thinking about that he's not good enough. I can't see that being the case because I think he's a very, very good player and I would love to have Ben Davies playing for us. But we'll move on to another rumour that we've already done a video on. Again, save it to your watch later, Tom Cairney. Because the rumours have come back because Scott Parker, no longer the manager, was a massive, massive fan of Tom Cairney. Now Marco Silva's come in as the Fulham manager. Who knows? He might not be interested in him. We've already heard. We don't know.
We just don't know.
We've already seen that he's interested in Will Hughes of Watford. And if you've ever watched the Cycling GK, he's a very, very sweary man, by the way.
Will Hughes?
Channel.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
He went to the same school as my brother-in-law.
Did he? Was he very sweary then?
Well, they're not the same age. You just told me that once and I just remembered it and it's never been useful before as an anecdote.
Well, it wasn't this time, but anyway, never mind.
Not wrong. I regret
It's fine. But back to Tom Cairney. As the Blades could look to put in a bid for him, and like I said, it might even be less because they were talking about daft money like 10 million, 8 million before. Maybe if Marco Silva's not that bothered about it, maybe we might get him for 3 or 4 million. You never know. He's obviously had a bit of injury problems recently, so maybe he just wants to get him off the wage bill and get a little bit of money for him and replace him with someone. So you'll see. Anyway, we have got a video on the channel, like I said. So if you're interested in finding out what everything about Tom Kearney and what could happen, go and watch that. Anyway, on to general news, really, because this is a player that already plays for us, Luke Freeman. You wouldn't think that if you just started watching the Blades in the last year, because Luke Freeman's barely played any football. But Bournemouth and Stoke both linked with him. He joined the Blades in the summer of 2019 ahead of our first season in the Premier League. It was a 5.5 million move, and that was, at the time, our record signing. Obviously, it got broken a few more times after that, and a fair more times after the season after. And he's only had 3 league starts since joining the Blades, which I think was a bit harsh, and I definitely wouldn't have sent him out on loan to Forest. But apparently at Forest, he's not had the best of times. He's been injured as well. So I'd like to see...
You could say at Forest he's not been pulling up trees.
Oh, I was waiting for that. I had no idea what it was going to be, but I was waiting for it.
Sorry.
Yeah, James Smith, absolutely. Let's keep him. Let's see what he's all about.
I saw the official club call him Freezy. He's been frozen out. That's the only reason you could call him that. It's a terrible nickname. Let's stop that right now.
I like Freezy.
Get out.
You get out. My channel. Bugger off. No, it's our channel. It's ours.
Thank you, mate. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Let's move on to Kian Bryan. This is a weird one because I think the fans are starting to get a little bit annoyed. Same as Slavisa Jokanovic, because he's not signing that contract. He's doing a John Lundstrom as we speak right now. It was a month since he was offered this contract, and he's still not accepted it. Who knows?
I've actually got the quote, Nick, if you want it from Big Slav. I've got the whole thing here. I don't know what is happening. I don't know if this guy wants to stay or if this guy wants to leave. I don't want this to complicate my team. He can go if he wants, or he can stay and offer his services to Sheffield United. You've got to admire that.
You do. And he must be absolutely papping himself if he's reading that. Because really, that's got to make him make his mind up pretty quickly, because if he wants to be a Sheffield United player for much longer, he's going to have to accept that contract quick. Because that could be rescinded, that contract, if he carries on messing us about like this.
It's been a month. I would say a month is taking the mick. Pull it.
Yeah, there must be something in it. There must be a team that has dangled a contract in front of him but not offered it him straight up. So who knows? And we've also seen on Instagram that he's having his haircuts. That's nice of him, isn't it? Anyway, let's move on to a player that's currently in the England squad. Aaron Ramsdale, legend. We love to see him, and I loved Hal's tweet as well. That's got some likes on it. That look, it's Aaron Ramsdale. Look, he's there.
We all do it. So if
we all do it,
just check it out. We've put it on our own. So at Sheffield United Way.
Yeah. So Aaron Ramsdale, Arsenal are said to be turning their attention now to Sam Johnston, which a little bit older. I'm guessing that he's going to be cheaper than Aaron Ramsdale because of his age, really, because he's getting on a little bit. Obviously, in goalkeeping terms, that's not the worst thing in the world, but Aaron Ramsdale's obviously got way more years left in his locker. But yeah, that's great. We wanted over 25 mil for him, which you'd expect. I'd want 30 at least. And it seems like Arsenal are not prepared to pay that. So that's good for us. In all honesty, mate, I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't mind either way, because that would be a lot of money in our pocket to invest in other areas. I think we could get goalkeepers aren't that expensive in the Championship. I feel like we could get an experienced goalkeeper.
You just want Ben Foster for his YouTube channel.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I do love a bit of Ben Foster. He is such a legend. And yeah, obviously, Cycling GK. I've said Ben Foster so many times that I want him.
I'm team salad fingers. I say if Rammers goes, and I don't want him to go, give Verips a shot.
Yeah. Why not? Well, but do you know what? the best thing that could happen is we sell Ramsdale for 100 million, and then Jake Eastwood becomes the next Aaron Ramsdale. That's what we want to see.
I think Marcus Dewhurst is more likely, given Eastwood's age and loan clubs he's been at. But hey, I hope to be proven wrong. If you're watching Easty, according to James Shields, Jukanovic will tell Aaron Ramsdale at the earliest opportunity he is a vital member of his squad and is willing to disclose some of his secret transfer targets just to Aaron if he thinks the goalie's interest in staying is actually going to waver. So, I like that. That means he means business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great to hear. And as Aaron Ramsdale's making his decision, if he does tell him who he's going to sign, that's a feather in his cap, because it's like, these are the players that we're signing. We want you to stay. Look at what we're building here. We could be a Premier League club next season again. And you don't want to go to Arsenal, make a mistake, and then be on the bench for the next 2 years or whatever, dear.
A lot of Premier League clubs wouldn't have put up with what we saw from Rammers in the first 2 months. Just saying. Yeah,
absolutely. But they didn't have League One Wes on the bench, though, did they?
None of them did. That's true. No. He's going to be a winner, as Steve York says, of a Euro medal, and that is quite incredible.
Yeah, he will. But will he, though? Do you have to play some minutes?
No. It's just being part of the 26-man squad.
Yeah, just for him being a legend, I think.
That's what he gets the medal for, yes. He's already
just being a legend. Anyway, let's move on to Sanderberg. This is a big one. Lots and lots of teams have been interested in him, apparently. At the moment, Atalanta are the latest club to be interested in Sanderberg. However, Napoli want to take him on a season-long loan first, which I'm not sure about that, in all honesty, because unless they're going to pay more than half his wages, we can't be doing that. Let's keep him, and if no one's prepared to pay that money, let's keep him, and then let's get back up, because he will love the Championship. He will boss it.
Atalanta and Napoli both saying they want to have him, but only on loan. They'd have to pay full wages. I wouldn't accept half wages, but I don't see that as making financial sense. If he doesn't perform well for them, his value shoots down. So that's not a good idea. And if he does perform well for them, well, we could have had that and got straight back up. So it's a no-brainer. It has to be either a full transfer for big money or just keep him. And I'd rather we just keep him. And so we actually get to see what he can do. Sanderberg is 23. He'll be 24 in Valentine's Day next year. And, 24 caps, 1 goal. He's got a 35 million release clause, signed for 22 million, as we know from the Belgian champions Genk in January 2020. He was signed actually by Genk. Did you know this? To replace Wilfred Ndidi.
Oh, I didn't even know that he played. I didn't know he played for before Wilfred Ndidi. That's brilliant. Good knowledge, Hal.
I know. In total, it's still such a young professional career. You know, he's played a total of 189 games, 9 goals, 7 assists. That's a total of 14,598 minutes. And Slavica Jukanovic has said, thanks, I didn't do that off the top of my head, I just can't read numbers. Slavica Jukanovic said, I'm talking about the Norwegian guy. I have some information about it being some kind of possibility. I have not had an opportunity to talk with him, but the first time I speak with him, I will encourage him to stay with us. Now, first of all,
the Norwegian guy.
Well, we never really got from Wilder how to say his name, because Wilder would sometimes say Berg, he would sometimes say Zander, he would sometimes say Berger. Slav's not messing about. He's just going to call him the Norwegian guy.
What about the English guy? Is he going to stay?
Keane! Make your mind up. Strengths. I think Sander's strengths are his passing, dribbling, powerful bursts. You know, he's a big lad over short distances. Generally good ball control. He can kind of glide around the playing surface, eluding challenges. He's a difficult player to dispossess. I'd like to see him use his physicality more and certainly win more in the air. You know, I've mentioned that to you before because he's 6'3" after all. His best position is probably that lone defensive midfielder role, but he's had to adjust to play on that right-hand side of a 3. He likes to be the link-up between defence and attack, I think, to dictate the tempo. And really, you look at that and you think he could be the Ollie Norwood long-term replacement. He's completed 2.5 dribbles per 90 minutes, a success rate of 81.3%. That was the stat I got from when he was in the Europa League, which is the highest level he's played at. And as I say, it could be an Ollie Norwood replacement. And that diagonal pass, I'm sure he's got that in his locker. I know he likes the simple pass, the safe option, but he also likes looking to the wing backs and getting that ball in the channels with pace. So I'd like to see more of that. Personally, I see him being the replacement for Norwood if Oliver doesn't return to form. And one thing I'd finally just say on Sander, he should score more goals. For someone who does have a fair few touches in the attacking third, if we'd had the chances, I fancy he would have seen, maybe he would have taken the penalties. Maybe that would have boosted his confidence because he scored that first one last season, didn't he, at Liverpool? He does need to make sure he's not caught out of position, though, as he has been a few times. He sometimes looks a bit flat-footed and static. He's also very one-footed. So I don't know if it's too late to change that. He could also do with using that left, I think, to play passes and just keep the opposition guessing.
My worry with Sanderberg, he's saying that defensive midfield should be his position, and you're absolutely right, it should be. But for me, he's not strong enough without the ball, if you know what I mean, going up against other players. In that defensive midfield role, for his size, he needs to be winning headers, like you said. But mostly, I think that Ollie Norwood's defensive side has got better because it's had to in the Premier League. I don't think Sanderberg at the moment has that defensive side in his locker. I think it's got to get a lot better. And for me, I feel like he's better going forward. He just, like you said, needs that bit of confidence scoring a goal. That goal against Spurs, that come too late in the season for me. When it did come, there weren't too many games left, and then it's going into next season, then you lose that confidence that you had. I want to see him go forward more. I want to see him having shots from outside the box. We saw that in pre-season where Dundee United, I think it was, where he hit a shot, his keeper saved it and Billy Sharp put it in. I wanted to see more of that of him last season. Obviously, he got injured, so we didn't see too much of it. But for me right now, as a young player, I don't think he has that defensive side in his locker, and I'd like to see more as an attacking player.
Let's move from one defensive midfielder to another. Young Regan Slater, Slavisa Jokanovic blocked an offer from Hull City for Regan. He's 21, and he wants to discuss what part the young blade will play this season. He ended the season with Hull very strongly after a tough start. And I think we should get on to Jack O'Connell. Slavisa Jokanovic has said from the medical department, I don't have any feedback that he will be ready soon to start working with me. Right now, he is not in my plans. I don't expect him to be available for this pre-season. Nick, I'm worried. I mean, until we know more, I think we have to assume he's working on coming back. But my main concern is obviously for him, like living without pain and being able to live a comfortable life. This is a very serious injury. It's been nearly a year. Those photos of him sparring in Dubai in May had him looking as fit as a butcher's dog, had him looking as fit as a pro boxer, unless that pro boxer is Tyson Fury. So I wish him well, but how do you feel? Are you as worried as I am?
Yeah, absolutely. He looked great when he was boxing and stuff like that. But that's not football, is it? It's not his legs and his arms and his upper body looked henge. And for me, sometimes when players look that henge, they lose that bit of sharpness. And I'm not saying that it's going to be a long time before we see him in a red and white shirt. But it's making me think, training his upper body and stuff, maybe he's not thinking about football anytime soon. And it's really, really sad because even if we do get him back at some point, is he ever going to be the same player as he was? Because for me, Jack O'Connell was our best player.
Magic. And
by
it was
far.
on this very day that we signed him as well, back in 2016.
And the fact that he was terrible when he very first, he was. Come on, man. Come on. He was really bad the first few games. It just shows how he's just a great, great player. And the fact that Slavisa Jokanovic knows his name rather than just being that big Scouse brick
man.
S house. It's great to see. Anyway, let's move on from Jack O'Connell because I'm probably going to cry in a second if we talk about it for much longer.
Well, the future's bright. The future is Theo Williams, 17, has signed professional forms with the Blades. He's a pacey prospect, signed pro at the earliest opportunity. Sometimes you wait till December to sew these kind of things up. Not with this lad, because there was genuine fear that he could be snapped up. Theo has played with our youth academy, and prior to that, Boston United on the wing and Newark. He played as a striker there. Expect him to get some minutes pre-season. I think he'll play maybe when they come back, one or two games with the senior side. Last season made 19 appearances with Sheffield United's under-18s, netting 4 goals. Theo was actually scouted when he was 12 by the Blades after impressing in a tournament. I wish him nothing but the best. Big season ahead. I've heard some stories about him and his family, and he sounds like a cracking lad.
12 though, seriously. Crazy. To be fair, they get scouted at earlier ages than that, don't they? Like 6 and 7. It's crazy. But yeah, absolutely. And on to another young lad, Antoine Hackford. We saw very little from him last season. We saw him come on against Palace and then never again. Obviously, I think Jebo's kind of overtaken him in the ranks, but at the same time, he's got a long way to go. Ian Wright didn't kind of kick on until he were in his early 20s. I know that's not going to happen, but he's still got lots of time. I'm really excited to see him play more football, and he was obviously excited to sign his first professional contract as well, which we enjoyed to see on Instagram.
Absolutely. And everyone asking us about the new kit, I would say a couple of things. 1, who cares? And 2, last season, it was released on the 3rd of August. So wait until then, and then you can ask us about it.
No, don't ask us about it. We don't know. The only time we'll know is when it'll inevitably get leaked. Like every other shirt, like every other signing, it'll probably get leaked, and that's the first time we'll know, the same time as you. So stop asking us. Anyway, that's about it, isn't it? So it probably wasn't a good idea to finish on a negative. But I hope there's been enough positives and enough news in there that you didn't already know, that's made it worth its while you watching this video. So, Hal, thank you very much for being here, as always. You should be the knowledge now, I reckon.
Oh, thank you. Well, we'll, of course, be back on Saturday, sharing some knowledge from 5:30 p.m. for Europa Point versus Sheffield United.
So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.